It's interesting that people can go and spend 10,000 on a sitting or over lunch, but cannot be able to spend 10,000 to secure what they value, which is their children's education, which is their health. Of course, insurance can't replace your health, but it can ensure that you're at peace in the hospital, knowing that once I recover, I don't have to worry about the bills. Some people actually die because of the thought of the bill. Eunice, who is Eunice? Eunice is a wife and a mother, and I'm also the CEO and founder of BSmart. I'm also an author of this book, Sell Me This Pen. This is a book that is a story of grit and determination, and basically my journey as an insurance agent, because I started selling insurance as an agent, and the challenges that I went through and the opportunities that I saw, and what can be done to make insurance more palatable to the majority of Kenyans. BSmart, what inspired BSmart was I was actually writing this book. That was in 2016. I still remember it was 31st of December 2016, when everybody was having merry and waiting for the year to end, jumping the year as we call it here. I had a goal of writing 1,000 words every day when I was writing this book. So on that day I had not written because the whole day I was just lazing, but then in the evening I realized I had to honor my commitments because I believe that when I make a commitment to myself or to anybody else, I must honor that commitment. So what happened is that I was now writing, and I was looking for a topic that is exciting. And I decided to write the future of insurance. And I started writing about it. And then it became deep, and I started researching more about it. And by the time morning came, because that day I did not sleep, I asked myself, wait a minute, this is how the future looks like with the penetration of the mobile phones, internet penetration. This is how the future of insurance will be. But who is going to create that future? One thing I didn't tell you about Eunice is that I'm a creator. I thrive in, going where nobody is going, creating a path, no path, and letting people now go through the path. And so I looked at my experience. Previously, before I started selling insurance, I was in the technology sector. So I understand technology very well. And then having been an insurance agent, again, I understood insurance deeply and the customers and the challenges they go through. And then I asked, then there's nobody else who is better positioned to create this future. And so on 1st of 2017, the whole idea of BSmart was born. Okay, not the name, but the whole business. Because I saw exactly what we are doing. I saw it in 2017, 1st of January. So 2017, I've woken up is 1st of January. I remember we were having a trip to Nyeri with my husband, and I didn't sleep that night. And I thought I'm going to doze off on the journey. I didn't doze. I was just telling him how I'm going to resign from my job and what I'm going to create and how it will look like. And he was listening throughout, 2 hours of going and 2 hours of coming back, just listening to these new ideas. And he was like, yeah, I hear you, but why don't you postpone resigning to August? Instead of resigning immediately, it's an election year and all. So I went back to work. I was on leave. I went back to work on 9th of January, and I couldn't work. I couldn't. The dream was so big and it was so burning that I got to the office and I forget everything I was going to do. And it continued like that, and I just had to resign. So I resigned on 17th of January. And the journey began. of creating this BSmart. That name was not there at that point. I had already started looking who can partner with me in this journey. So I found someone who was in the technology, because I needed someone who is very strong in technology, especially coding. And I had found a partner. And so we had even started building the app. That time it was not called BSmart, it was a different name when we began. And so I've resigned on 17th, and then on 19th, we disagree with the partner. So I don't have a job, and we have this disagreement. It doesn't look like it's going to work out. I think on 23rd, he blocked me from all the communication, WhatsApp, calls. And so I was left no business, no job, and no idea how to move on. So that's how it started. And so it's when I had to look for another different name and register a new company. So BSmart was the new company after the first one had gone. But you realize that company is not a name. It's not just a name. It's not just registering. That is not what makes a company. Company is made by people. And so because I was still there, then it continued. The solution we offer, and probably I should start with what is it that we are doing right now. So when we began in 2017, one of the problems we were solving was, this idea of people telling you, these guys didn't tell me I was not covered. I got an accident, and this is when they are telling me that particular incident is not covered. And, customers feeling like insurance is robbing them. And what I realized is the challenge was transparency, that people don't get to know in advance what is covered and what is not covered. So we build a comparison platform whereby you're not comparing just price. You're also comparing what is covered and what is not covered. So far, right now, you can compare, from 13 insurance companies on our platform, real time. It shows you the price. It shows you what is covered. If, for example, is car insurance, it will show you with screen how much is the limit that is covered, because most people take insurance that they do not know that different parts have different limits of coverage. So when you get an accident and you're told you only pay 30,000, and you're like, I have paid comprehensive. No, comprehensive, it has more deeper details than just that. And so you're able to see, how do you put it, on one page, what company A covers, what company B covers, and then you're able to pick the best coverage with the best price. So after having the comparison platform, we did that for 3 years, and now we have started designing products that are relevant to us as Kenyans. Let me give an example. How many WhatsApp groups are you in right now that are contributing for either a burial or a medical bill? You're in so many WhatsApp groups. And, for me, it makes me feel like, it's always not expected. Now, one of the things that we've done with my husband is we've put some amount aside saying, this is the amount we give. For whatever comes, this is what we give. Beyond that, I'm sorry, we can't. And so what happens is that you're in so many groups, WhatsApp groups, contributing. So if you don't have money, you feel guilty. And so we asked ourselves, how can we create a similar kind of a product? So one of the products that we have designed, to resonate with our way of life as Kenyans, and we believe we'll go to Africa, is the Mchango cover. Because the way you get into WhatsApp groups and contribute for hospital bills, so we said, how do we adopt the same? So this one, you come together as friends. You could be relatives, you could be friends, you could be colleagues. You come together, changa for premium. Premium is lower than a hospital bill. You changa for that premium. You share an umbrella coverage. Say, for example, you can be 10 of you, and 10 of you changa each 15K, and 10 of you share a cover of 2 million inpatient, and up to 250,000 outpatient, ambulance services, maternity of 200,000, no, 150,000. And you see, out of the 10, maybe only one will need the maternity and can utilize the 150. And then the next year, somebody else might need it. So, get a mchango cover. It's called Afya Smart. You just need to, you can take it alone, and you can take it with your, as a family, and you can take it as friends. You don't need to be blood related to share the cover. It's actually the first of its kind in this, not just in Kenya. There has not been such a cover because of the insurable interest limitation by the regulators. So let's do it. Let's all get a health cover. Let's stop this mchango on WhatsApp groups. It's not worth it. We can do better. The other thing we noted is that, and this is, I believe, is a rule that we are breaking. There's a principle of insurance called the insurable interest, that you only have insurable interest on your spouse and your kids. When I say insurable interest, means that there are those people who depend on you financially. Now, because our products are borrowed from Europe, my husband and my children, we make a family. But in Kenya, it's different. I, my husband, my children, my mother-in-law, my mother, my sisters and brothers make a family. True? So, insurance only covers me, my husband and my kids. Now, that closes out our bigger family. What the Europe designed insurance doesn't understand is that when my mother is sick, that is my hospital bill. When my sister is sick, I have to come in and pay that bill. And so we said, can we expand this insurable interest to take care of our extended family, because that's how we live. We live as a community. We don't live individually like the Europeans and the Americans. Yeah, so those are some of the things that we are doing, and many other things that we are continually innovating to just make insurance acceptable and something that people look forward to take, because it solves their financial, it helps in managing their financial risks. There's a lot of misinformation about insurance, and as I said, people look at insurance as these guys want to take away my money and I will never get it back. So, and I always say, if you want to build a system that brings out the worst of human beings, it actually looks like the current insurance. What do I mean by that? You see, the way the whole product is structured, and it's the way it works, is that many people have to contribute so that a few can benefit. We understand the welfare, and we make rules. The chamas, in the chamas, we say, in case somebody gets sick, there's this amount that will be contributed. If someone died, if your mother, your father, all these rules we make. And I'll give you an example. Say you're 10 of you, you're having a welfare, and you have decided that, you know, in case one of us got sick, they will require 10,000 shillings to be treated. So we're going to contribute each 1K to make 10,000, and we put it as a kitty. Now, what happens is our assumption is that only one person will need at that particular period. And if two people happened to get the incident, what will happen? It means there will be, either they have to split or there will be no fund for the other person. That is exactly how insurance works. That many people contribute, but the expectation is that only few will need to utilize that contribution. So you hear people saying, you know, I've been paying for the last 3 years, I've never gotten an accident, I've never gotten sick, where is my money? Please give me back my money. Now, nobody can give you back the money because the money went to people who needed it. Now, when you're these 10 of you, normally is that if the incident happens to one person, that person will be very happy that you guys came through for them. But the other 9 will not have benefited, so they will either go feeling like I should have gotten sick. Is that the case? That is not how we operate. You'll be happy that you are not sick to need that. Okay? So that is exactly how insurance works. And that's why I don't understand why we Africans don't understand insurance because we practice it every day. Now, the challenge is that you think the institution is keeping money and not wanting to give it back. So what happens with the formal insurance is that we come up with a rate. Say you'll be told for your motor car, we'll give you 4%. So the estimation is simply this, that 4 out of 100 are the only ones who will get the accident. So if you're 100, we don't expect the 100 of you to have an accident. We expect only 4. When they become 5 or 6, that is how the insurance make losses, because you are more than what was estimated. And now if you become more, that is why the next year they increase your premium. So you'll find the premium has gone up because there were more incidents that happened. So let's talk about the health insurance, because I am passionate about health. This is something that affects us on a daily basis. I'm sure this season you've seen what is going on. You know, there's mchango every right, left, and center, and people come to us. They want a health cover, but then they are like, no, they don't even know what to look out for. So when you're looking for health insurance, it's very important to also disclose your condition. Do you have a pre-existing condition? Pre-existing condition is any illness that you knew about before the start of this cover. That is pre-existing. So if you knew you had diabetes, even if you got to know yesterday, that becomes pre-existing because you already know about it. When we say no, it means you've been diagnosed with that. Do you have a chronic condition? So some companies may decide to increase your premium to cover the extra risk. Remember, I've said the risk is based on the expected incident rates for that particular product. So if we expect that out of 100, we are expecting like 5 people or 10 people will get sick. So the premium you pay is based on that 10%. For example, I'm just giving an example. So meaning if there are more incidences like what you're seeing with COVID, then it is not sustainable for the insurer. And that is why it's important to disclose so that the insurer is able to know, because this is going to be an extra risk, we need to price it higher. Some companies will say, no, we can't handle that risk because it's too high. That's why you'll find that many companies will not cover older people who are beyond 65 because the risks, the incidents are very high. And look at it. What Kenyans do, they wait for someone to get sick so that they take a cover. Now, insurance is not for the sick. Insurance is for the healthy people who are protecting themselves against an eventuality, an uncertainty of getting sick. So if you're already sick, remember the example I gave you of the 10 people? What if 10 of you have come together, you contributed the 10K, and already somebody is sick on that particular day? Is that business? That fund cannot be sustainable. That is why people keep asking, why are you guys excluding this? Why are you not covering this? It's because insurance is also a business that needs to be sustainable. So I beg you, young people, take insurance when you're healthy. Now, the beauty of taking especially health insurance when you're healthy, keep renewing, and an insurance cannot reject you when you're already in. Now, when you get sick and you want to get in, they will not take you in. Why? Because they don't know you and already they don't want to cover that risk. But if they have a history with you, say you've never been sick for the last 5 years, so they have your history. So when you get this condition, then it will be unfair or unlikely that the insurance company will just turn their back against you. So it is important that you take it when you're healthy. Other situations we see is people wait when they're pregnant is when they want to take cover. So they say, do you have a cover for maternity? I'm already pregnant. Now, you see, insurance is for uncertainty. Now, when you're already pregnant, that becomes certain. And that means it's not coverable. So you'll find most of the covers will give a waiting period of, say, 9 months. For us, our cover in Bismarck, we've given 6 months. We're saying, okay, you may not have, within the first trimester, please take cover so that at least it can take care of you in 6 months. Now, all what insurance is avoiding is a situation whereby you have all pregnant people buying cover, because then it will collapse the company. In this book, I have written a lot about my experience with the customers. You'll see some customers that I've quoted, and the challenges that customers go through, and the information, what you need to ask for even when you meet your insurance agent, or what you need to do as an insurance agent to be able to help your customers choose the right insurance. All this is documented here. You can find it at euniceminor.com. That's my website, or you can find it at textbook centers. And I think we are about to have the books in the Naivas or the Naivas stores very soon. But for now, euniceminor.com and textbook center. Also, for insurance, you don't need to even worry. We have not only designed, niche products for the Kenyan market, but also we help you compare the products that are existing in the market. Any policy. If you want to know what to be covered, a summary, please come to bsmart.co.ke, and you'll be able to find a lot of information broken down into this, the simplest we can make it, but we accept feedback. If you find that it's still jargon, please call me and tell me, hey, this is still so hard. Explain to us what this means. My parting shot is insurance is a very important tool to your financial freedom. And I will explain how. If today these cameras were taken away, would you be able to continue with business as usual? So anytime you think about insurance, ask yourself, is this car that I have, if today was a write-off, could I continue with life as usual? If today I got admitted to the hospital and the bill is 1 million shillings, can I easily go to my pocket and pay it? If your answer is no, please run. Go to bsmart.co.ke, choose the insurance for that thing that you know that if it was taken away from you, you cannot continue with business as usual, because the purpose of insurance is to take you back to the state where you were before the loss occurred. It's interesting that people can go and spend 10,000 on a sitting or over lunch, but cannot be able to spend 10,000 to secure what they value, which is their children's education, which is their health. Of course, insurance can't replace your health, but it can ensure that you're at peace in the hospital, knowing that once I recover, I don't have to worry about the bills. Some people actually die because of the thought of the bill. When I think that I am told that the bill imefika 1 million, and I know the only property I have is the Kalandi in the village, I get scared. I would rather die than see my family suffer. So let's protect our psychological health by taking insurance. Yes, there are many things that are grey, but you just need to understand it, and we are here to help. We're here to help you understand the deeper issues of the insurance. Once you understand it, then you will never be wrong with the insurance. Thank you.